The way you talk to yourself shapes everything. Your confidence, your relationships, your ability to try again, your willingness to even believe that you deserve something better. And it's crazy how a lot of people don't know how much damage your inner voice can do. Not the voice you use when you're with others, the one you use when you're alone, when you mess up, when you're staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m., wondering what's wrong with you. Because that voice, it becomes the story you live inside. And most people are living a story they didn't even realize they wrote. The thoughts they never questioned, beliefs they never chose. For instance, I'm not good enough. I'll never change. Of course they left. I mess everything up. If someone else said that to you every single day, you'd call it abuse. But when you say it to yourself, you call it normal. Let that sink in. Most of us have learned to be our own worst critic before we ever learned how to be our own friend. We think if we're hard enough on ourselves, we'll become better, more disciplined, more likable, more successful. But tearing yourself down isn't strength. It's self-sabotage dressed up as motivation. Because here's the truth, you cannot build a healthy life on the foundation of self-hate. You cannot shame yourself into growth. You grow when you feel safe enough to grow, when your inner world becomes a place of encouragement, not punishment. So ask yourself, what kind of voice are you living with? Is it a voice that makes you feel hopeful? Or a voice that makes you feel like a burden? Would you say the things you say to yourself to someone you love? Because you should. You should speak to yourself like someone worth rooting for. Because you are. And it's not easy. You can't just snap your fingers and silence a lifetime of negative thoughts. But you can start noticing them. You can interrupt them. You can challenge them. You can learn to replace, oh, I'm so stupid, with I'm learning and that's enough for today. You can replace I always ruin things with, all right, this didn't go how I hoped it would, but I can still try again. Because honestly, I'm not a fan of sugarcoating. If we mess up, I think we need to be real about it. Own it and take responsibility. But that doesn't mean we have to tear ourselves down in the process. It doesn't mean we talk to ourselves like we're beyond redemption. You can be honest and kind. You can hold yourself accountable without hating who you are. It's not about toxic positivity. It's about remembering that how you speak to yourself sets the tone for how you live your life. And if you want to change your life, you start with your words. So when the voice in your head starts repeating old lies, pause. Don't let it run on autopilot. Because every time you choose to speak with compassion, even just a little bit, you start to change the wiring. You start creating a space inside yourself that doesn't push you away when things get hard, but pulls you back in. Because you'll spend more time with yourself than anyone else. The only person you have at the end of the day is you. You'll wake up and fall asleep with your own thoughts. So make them kinder. Make them gentler. Make them yours, not your parents', not your friends', not your worst days version of you. But the you that's trying, the you that wants to grow, the you that's still here and hasn't given up. That version of you deserves a voice that speaks like someone who finally understands you're allowed to mess up. You're allowed to begin again. You're allowed to love yourself through the process while becoming a better version of yourself. because the way you speak to yourself matters more than you know.